How's it going, Eliminators? Today, I'm going to be showing you how to shim the valves on an OVRM 120 Tecumseh engine. So let's get right into it. So a friend of mine brought me this mower here and just complained that it was hard to start. First thing we did was check to make sure it had spark. We checked the carburetor, everything seemed good. So we decided to take a look at the valves because normally when your valves get out of spec, the engine is hard to start, but once it does fire up, it'll stay running. So we went ahead and pulled off the overhead valve cover. It's just 4 bolts right there. We went ahead and also removed the spark plug. Now, when you're shimming the valves, you want to have the engine set to top dead center on the compression stroke. So I'm going to show you the first step, and that's identifying which valve is for which port. So if we look down here, we can see that here's our exhaust, and then there is our intake manifold. So right away, I can tell you this is our intake valve, and this is our exhaust valve. And identifying which valve does what is important because the next step is just as important, and that's going to be setting the engine to top dead center on the compression stroke. So one of the things you're going to want to do just to make it easier is pull off the top cover of the engine so that you can rotate the flywheel by hand. And to make rotating the flywheel by hand easier, you're going to want to pull your spark plug. And we're going to come back to that because I'm going to use a little wooden dowel to show us where the piston is. So how do you set the engine to top dead center on the compression stroke? Well, you have to understand how a 4-cycle engine works. It's a 4-stroke engine, so there's going to be intake, compression, power stroke, and exhaust stroke, and then it's going to go back to the intake stroke. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the flywheel always in a clockwise direction, and you're going to look for your valves to start opening and closing. So right now, you're going to see that the exhaust valve is opening, which means we are on the exhaust stroke. It's going to come up to the intake stroke, and then as soon as the intake valve closes, we are now on what is known as the compression stroke. So this is where the dowel comes into play here, because you're going to put this or a screwdriver, anything, into your cylinder. So you just need a little bit of pressure on your dowel. Like I said, you can use a screwdriver as well. And we're going to rotate this, and you're going to watch for that dowel to push up, and then now it's starting to push back down again. So we're going to go counterclockwise and bring it back right to that point. And you're going to see that the valves aren't moving, and that's because we're at top dead center on the compression stroke. And what we're looking for is that dowel to come out as far as it can, and then it's going to start coming back down again. And what you're going to do is you're going to find that center spot. So you're going to notice that I'm moving the flywheel here back and forth, but the dowel isn't moving up or down. So in between this spot here and that spot there is the sweet spot. So we're going to go right about there. Now, getting a little more complex, these engines generally fire at approximately 7 degrees before top dead center. But normally what I do is I just take the flywheel once I found that sweet spot, and I go back ever so slightly. And that's it. So now that we've found top dead center on the compression stroke, we're going to remove our dowel, and we are going to look at what the valves are shimmed to, basically what they're set to. And there's going to be, depending on your mower, but for this specific mower, there's going to be a locking nut right there, and then there's going to be a bolt head, or in this case, it's a little hex head that you're going to adjust, and that's going to set the spec of your valve. And what we're doing is we're going to be setting the clearance in between the rocker arm and the tip of the valve itself. Now, in order to check the clearance in between the rocker arm and the valve, you're going to need a feeler gauge set. This is basically just thin pieces of metal here, and they actually have numbers on them. You're going to see this is 0.004. So this little feeler gauge here is 0.004 of an inch. Now, in order to figure out what the spec is for your valves on your particular engine, you're going to go to Google and just type in the model of your engine. In this case, it is an OVRM 120 Tecumseh, and then I just put valve spec after that, and I was able to find a chart that said that the intake and the exhaust are both supposed to be set to 0.004 of an inch. So how do we do that? Well, you're going to have to come up to the lock nut on this one. You're going to loosen that with a wrench, and then you're going to thread this in, and then you're going to go ahead and lock that up with this in here. So right now, putting my 4 thou feeler gauge in, you can see that, well, we are really loose. You want just a little bit of grab on there. You want to be able to feel that little bit of resistance when you pull on it. Now, before we go ahead and loosen off the lock nut and start adjusting these valves, I want to check what the valve spec is now so that I can inform my customer that, hey, your valves were 2 or 3 or 4 times over factory specifications, and that's why your mower was hard to start. So what I have in front of me is the 4 thousandths of an inch factory specification, and I have a 10 thousandths of an inch. We're just going to come up to the exhaust valve here on the top, and we're going to take the 10 thou and go in, and you guys can see there's absolutely no resistance there. So we know for a fact that the exhaust is supposed to be set at 4 thousandths of an inch, and it's at 10, maybe 11 or 12, which means that the exhaust valve is 3 times out of specification. And the reason that happens is simply because these engines heat up when they're running and cool down when they're shut off. And you're going to obviously go through that cycle as you're running your engine. So that heating and cooling, it's going to expand and contract metal, and the lock nut will back itself off. It will become a little bit loose, and your valve spec will increase over time, making your engine harder to start because your valves aren't going to be opening and closing at the proper times. Now, coming down to the intake side, you guys can see that it's a little bit harder to put the 10 thou feeler gauge in there, which means it's double. So we have double the spec here, and we have about triple the spec there. So now comes time to shim these valves. You're going to need a 7/16 wrench, and we're going to go up to that lock nut and we're going to loosen that off. So with a 7/16 wrench on that lock nut, I'm going to come over to it and check that out. It is loose, right? So this is our exhaust valve that was 3 times out of spec, and that wasn't tight at all. And that just reiterates what I said before with the expansion and contraction of the metals, that that lock nut just loosened off and allowed this clearance to increase. All we're going to be doing is twisting this clockwise in the very smallest amounts. There's absolutely no resistance against it because we've loosened off our lock nut there. And you're going to see that I barely touch that, and already the 4 thou won't fit in there. So that's how finicky these valves are. And basically you're just going to bring that back a little bit, and we can see here that that really doesn't want to go in right now. So I'm going to back it off ever so slightly, and it will just have the smallest amount of resistance. So you can see there, look at that. We went from not being able to fit to now it's no resistance at all. So it's somewhere right around there. So I'm going to bring you in a bit closer so that you can hear what it sounds like. You can hear the physical resistance. So that's set to the perfect spec. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our hex head, or in this case our screwdriver, back into the adjusting bolt, and we're going to hold it in that position while we tighten up our lock nut. And that's as simple as that. Now, it may take you guys a couple of times depending on how often you shim your valves. If you're new to this, it's going to take you a few times because you're going to go ahead and tighten that lock nut, and what it's going to do is it's going to tighten your adjusting bolt. And then what we're going to do is we're going to check it afterwards, and if you're too tight, that's okay. Just repeat your steps, loosen that off again, readjust your valve setting, and then tighten up your lock nut again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so my lock nut is now tight, and once again, the 4 thou, there's a little bit of resistance, so our exhaust valve is set to exactly where it should be. Now comes time to speak about how tight you want to have those lock nuts. Tecumseh's specifications are 120 inch-pounds, I believe, on that lock nut. Now, there's no way that you can do that with an open-end wrench. It's just not possible. So coming over to the workbench here, I have a maximum crowfoot wrench set. So what is a crowfoot wrench set? Well, basically, it is the opened end head of a wrench with a 3/8 ratchet drive on this side here. So you're going to notice that I already have this set up on my ratchet here. So basically, you're just going to put the 7/16 inch crow's foot onto the end of an extension here. And when you're using these crowfoot wrenches, you want to make sure that the crow's foot is set to the 90-degree position of the handle of the ratchet. That's very important. Now you can go ahead and put that onto a torque wrench and then apply your specific amount of torque. And having a crow's foot wrench will allow you to use a ratchet and the head of a wrench to apply your torque and get in there and torque your lock nut to the manufacturer's specification. But we're not done with this crow's foot wrench adapter piece here, because you're not just going to be using it to torque your lock nut to spec. You're going to notice that on the intake side of things down here, you can't get a wrench unless you have a really stubby wrench, or you went ahead and just cut, the head of a wrench to fit. So In order to adjust our intake side of things, we could either remove the engine and do this on a workbench so that you'd have a lot more room in between where the engine and the deck would normally be, or we're simply going to use the crow's foot. So you guys can see that I have the crow's foot onto the lock nut on the intake side, and then I'm just going to apply some pressure here, and that's it. We've now loosened off the lock nut, and we didn't have to make any special tools. We just went ahead and used the crow's foot. Now, if you don't have these, you can go out and just buy the one that you need. In this case, it's going to be a 7/16 crow's foot. But if you don't want to go out and buy a specialty tool for this specific job you may only use once, then you can just remove the engine and do it on your workbench with a normal wrench. So I've made my adjustment, and once again, we're just trying to feel for that little bit of resistance there. And once again, with the crow's foot set at the 90 degree, we're just going to go ahead and tighten that up. And I'm only snugging these up because I am going to come back and torque these to spec, but for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to show you guys the process on how to adjust the valves. And I got lucky when I tightened that up because my adjuster side didn't change. So now both valves are adjusted to the manufacturer's specification of 4/1000ths of an inch on both the intake and the exhaust side. So that is how you shim the valves on a lawnmower engine, or in this case, a Tecumseh OVRM 120. Well, that wraps up today's valve adjustment video. Again, we went out and bought that crow's foot wrench adapter set in not only imperial, but also metric, just so that I have them, because it's really a nice specialty tool to have if you ever need to get into a hard to reach area. But for someone doing it themselves, they may not want to go out and buy a whole set. So again, if you could find just a 7/16 crow foot, maybe on Amazon or eBay, then you can go ahead and buy one. Or if you wanted to do it yourself without buying a specialty tool, but still keep the engine mounted on the lawnmower deck, you could go ahead and just cut a 7/16 wrench in half, and then you'll get a nice little short wrench you could use. Or again, if you don't want to cut a wrench in half, you can simply remove the engine from the lawnmower deck and just do the adjustment with a normal open end wrench on your workbench. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, think about leaving me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. You can click here to subscribe and click over here to watch one of my previous videos. I upload every single week, so be sure to stop on by next week, check channel out for new content. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.